2, and we're live with Be Green with Amy.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Be Green with Amy. I'm Amy. After adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle, my hubby Rick and I lost over 130 pounds. Now I coach others on their plant-based journey. Just Task Voice. Let's welcome our guest.
Angela Fischetti is a physical fitness, yoga instructor, and licensed massage therapist specializing in wellness for older adults. Please click like to help Be Green with Amy. Welcome, Angela Fischetti.
Greetings and welcome back, Angela.
Thanks for having me back, Amy.
Yeah.
I'm always so happy to be here with you.
I'm happy to have you. We had you scheduled this week and you stepped in for somebody that couldn't make it last week. So it feels like the Angela show now.
Always a pleasure. And when I can, I would certainly do that for you. Anytime, Amy.
Oh, well, I'm sure the Green Warriors are really excited about today's broadcast because everybody knows exercise is so important to our health. And my Green Warriors are into the whole food plant-based lifestyle, or they're curious about it. But, you know, it improves your mood, it boosts your energy, and it promotes better sleep. And you're going to be talking about strength training, which in addition to all that and other things, of course, it can help prevent osteoporosis. So this is really important stuff. But so many people say that they don't have enough time to exercise.
Right. And it's understandable because in today's day and age, we are over the top with the amount of stressors and pressures on us. So I totally understand that, which is what inspired me to basically design today's class. Now, the funny thing about it is this is a longer program when you do it all at once, but it was designed so that you can break it in half. So when you see the workout, maybe you're doing it live with us, or maybe you're replay, that you can do the first half and then come back another time to do the second half, because it is going to be 2 workouts in one. And we're covering areas of the upper body. We're doing back, chest, and then tricep, bicep. So, and you'll see too, Amy, there's going to be a slight little break where I have to just slightly adjust the equipment just a little bit, and also because you'll see the difference in the approach with the 2 different blocks of workout.
Oh, awesome. I am so ready for this, you know, and I love how all of your workouts really, you cover the spectrum from beginner to advanced, and you tell us the modifications that we can make so don't anybody be scared because Angela's wearing these workout gloves. If you're a beginner, it's okay. You know, she's got you covered. And
Yes.
if you're advanced, don't worry, she's got you covered or intermediate, whatever it is. So that's really great. And you can always watch it on the replay too, which I hope that you do over and over again, because this should be a part of your routine. Angela's done over 10 different episodes with us and most of them have been workouts. So there's lots of content for you. And we'll be putting chapters on this so that when you do return, all the things that we're doing now, chatting and just getting to know and having our community, you can skip over that on the replay and go right to the beginning.
Right. Yeah. But I would always suggest that people play that part through once, because we talk about certain things that might be applicable to you. Right. And then, after that, you know, I do the same thing. I watch certain YouTube videos for myself and I'm like, okay, I don't need to play that all over again, but I know right where I want to go to. And this is great. I really appreciate that you do that, Amy, where you put the different chapters up on the videos. It's really helpful.
Okay, so before we get started with workout, I love to teach and I'd love for you guys to learn. So we're going to start off.
It's time for True or False on Be Green with Amy Live. Answer true or false to Amy's questions in the comments below, and Amy will ask our guest for the expert answer.
Okay, so Green Warriors, here's the first question. True or false? The original definition of supersetting is working 2 different exercises back to back without rest. So type in your guess for the answer. And while you guys are typing that in, Angela is going to tell us the answer.
Well, it's kind of morphed into that definition. However, it would be false. So I wanted to give some support to this. So I actually went into the archives of the certifying organization that I'm certified with, and I've been certified with them since it was 89 or 90. And it's the American Council on Exercise. They're referred to as ACE. So I found an article that's not too old at all. It's 5 years old, and it was published on March 9th, 2018. Tomorrow is its anniversary. And it was written by a Brett Klika, Klika, and it's in an article called 4 Workout Time Wasters and What to Do Instead. So here is what Brett had to say, and I love what Brett wrote. He says that, or she says that supersets are exercises focusing on opposing muscle groups that are performed in succession with little to no rest in between. And Amy, this is exactly how I designed today. So we'll be supersetting back and chest because they're opposing muscle groups. And then for the second round, tricep, bicep.
Excellent. Okay, so we have another true or false. And now that we have our definition of supersetting, true or false, supersets primarily benefit one's endurance. True or false, Green Warriors? What's your guess? And Angela, tell us the answer.
Well, I'll tell you the answer is false. However, the outcome of a class is based on the intention in the design of the class by the instructor and or with the participants. So you could always kind of make it work like that. However, it's not really the only intention to it. So I again wanted to support my answer for you. And I went to webmd.com, and there's an article there written by Martin Taylor. And now you're not going to believe this, but this and another study I was looking at, they were written on the same date of July 11th. And I was like, what's up with July 11th? So this is 7/11/22. So it's nice and recent for us. And the name of the article is How to Do Superset Exercises. So this is what Martin Taylor says, and I really like this. Supersets provide a more intense level of training. Doing your workout in supersets will help you improve your strength and endurance. Supersets' purpose is to increase your exercise intensity. That's why I almost always do my stuff as supersetting. For myself personally, I like long workouts, but if I don't superset, I'll be here all night. So I love the whole process of supersetting.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it. And we're going to learn a lot from you. Okay, one last question before we begin the workout, and that is true or false. In comparison to traditional resistance training, supersetting does not enhance training efficiency and reduce training time. Interesting. Okay, Green Warriors, type in your answer. And Angela, what do you got?
I think I gave a little hint to that anyhow just now, and it would be false. So it's just, not a whole lot there to support, so to speak, but I did want to find something, and it's nothing to quote, but I did find the support to false by going to the National Institutes of Health's PubMed Central. And there is a published study in there from the journal, the European Journal of Applied Physiology, and here it is, 7/11. This one was 2017. And Amy, I was like, did I make a mistake? Is this possible? They were both on July 11th. Actually, it was. But this one was 2017.
It's just so amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, we're still learning, and I love how you do the research. So you always have good answers for us and good information. And we are getting ready to start this workout. So go ahead, Angela. Why don't you tell us
so what I'm going to do is just give myself a little more light, and I'm going to step back. There's just a couple of other things I want to cover with you, if I might, Amy. So the exercise accessories that I'm going to be using today. Well, you see a workout bench. Do you need one? Absolutely not. You don't have to use it. And for exercises that we do on our backs, you can feel free to go to the floor or onto your bed. The other thing that I'm using here is an exercise mat. And well, it's actually technically a yoga mat. I actually prefer yoga mats to exercise mats as such because I think the exercise mats sometimes slip and slide. Now, this said, make sure you have a nice flat surface that you're going to be working out on. And want to make sure that your yoga mat is not on top of a throw rug. You want to toss that throw rug literally away for a while, okay? And the other thing, well, you see them. I have an assortment of dumbbells. The range that I'm using today is from 8 to 20 pounds. Now, some of you who have bands and tubing and you know to adjust and adapt, that's fine. Now, for those of you who have no equipment at all, well, don't worry about it. I have you covered. Finally, when it comes to medical disclaimer, if you fall into any of these categories, I'm going to ask you please to pay attention to the modifications and suggestions that I offer you. So this would be any back spine issue ever in your life, if you've ever been diagnosed with anything. I'm not kidding you, because there are so many, it's impossible to list them. However, we've got you covered. And also, if you have pinched nerve or any type of rotator cuff muscle issue within the shoulders, carpal tunnel syndrome, right, from the wrist. And if you are medicated for hypertension, and sometimes people are not, if you have vertigo or GERD, any of those issues, I will be offering up suggestions. Now, there's one other exercise accessory, so to speak, but it's not really an exercise accessory. It is a cushion or maybe a small pillow or even a folded up towel. Because those of you with hypertension, vertigo, and GERD, when you lie down on your backs, I want your head slightly elevated. I don't want there to be a rush of blood to the head. So now, having said that, what we're going to do for our warm-up today, Amy, is I'm going to take us through the entire program of exercises. We have 12 exercises, and we're going to do them unweighted so that if you are a brand new newbie, beginner, whatever, to strength training, don't worry about it. We've got you covered with doing the demonstration for you. And because of those of you with these different issues, our demonstration is going to be targeting you. When I actually do the workout, for those of us who don't have those issues, no problem. We're going to use our weights. All right. So does that make sense, Amy? Are we pretty good with that now?
Oh yeah, I love it. And you can get benefit even without the weights, right?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said this. Thank you. Because when you do something without resistance, the tendency is kind of like, wow, man, I'm just going to look around and I'm just going to go really fast. No. I'm going to pull you back in, and you're going to pretend like you have 20 pounders in your hands, and you're going to move a lot differently. All right. So, Amy, I'm going to get started with the demonstration. So, sound good?
Yes. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Let's do it. So, the first set of supersetting is going to be bent over back row with a wide grip. Now, this is what is a wide grip. This is what is a narrow grip. And we're also going to do that with an incline chest press. Now, both of those are going to require you to either be bent over or on the back on the bench. We're going to do this upright for you. And if you choose to do an incline, that's fine. So for the first one, the bent over, back row, wide grip, upright looks like this. I'm pulling and I'm slowly releasing. Puffing up the chest with that wide grip. Now I'm going to turn my back to you on purpose, Amy. And can you see the scapulae as they're being drawn together. You can really see the difference in my tan line from when I do the fitness walk on the beach, but it actually helps right now because you can see the scapulae being drawn together. Now, am I forcing that? No. And what we don't want to do is when you draw back, you do a forward head projection, thinking that you're going further back. You're not, and then you're putting too much pressure on your cervical spine. So we want a good, strong back in life to be able to bend down, pick up something, and get right back up. And I'm going to lower the arms down. Repetitions today are 8 to 15 reps. Now we're going to do an incline chest press, wide grip. Here's the wide, here's the narrow. I'm going wide. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand to the side a little bit, and I'm going to push out. And I'm leaning back. Do you have to lean back? No. But this helps for an incline. But it's not imperative that you do that because sometimes it hurts people's backs and necks. So it's inhale as I pull in, exhale, push out. Opposing muscle groups. We want that strong chest, so that we can push that heavy grocery cart. We can push that heavy door open without needing assistance. Now I'm going to come close to the camera. Watch this area here. See that? I'm not doing this. I'm not collapsing down. That happens a lot. So let's go for 2 more repetitions. And just straight out in front for those of you who want to do it that way. Then the arms come down. Now, we're going to do shoulder rolls. But when they're weighted, they're a lot slower. So it looks like this. Up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. What isn't it? This. It's not this. You know how many times I see people doing that for shoulder rolls? We want to lift. We want to make big circles. Yeah, here we go. So just so the audience is entertained, in case they hear any sounds, they are actually literally replacing our roof as I speak to you directly over me. So how's the sound, Amy? Pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Great.
Great. We're going to do one more big shoulder roll. Now we're going to do an incline pec fly. First upright for you. So puff up the chest, and it's a big arcing motion. It's the same concept. Don't collapse when you bring those arms in. Now, I'm not going all the way back. So I inhale to open, exhale to close. Focus here. Right, now notice I don't let the fingertips touch each other, because if I were to do that, I would bypass the attachments of the pectoralis major muscle. Don't want to do that. So when you're in the gym and people are clanking, well, it's wrong. Now here's the movement on an incline, just in case you want to do that. One more. And lower the arms down. The next round is going to be the lat pull down, short for latissimus dorsi, and an incline chest press again, but narrow grip this time. I'm going to come down to my knee because I want you to see what I do with my arms. I'm not going to come down to my knee when I have the weights in my hands. So I'm going to pretend I'm holding on to a bar, and I'm pulling that bar toward my sternum, my breastbone, as I lift the breastbone up to the bar. Latissimus dorsi, swimmer's muscle, it's enormous muscle. And exhaling to pull. Do you have to be on your knee? No. I just want you to see what's going on with the arms. Let's go for 2 more. And 1 more. I'm here. I'm going to use my knee, my thigh, technically, to help me back up. Now, the incline chest press. Let's turn to the side here for you. Narrow grip. When I have a narrow grip, Amy, I'm going to tie in the tricep muscles, the back of the upper arm a little bit more. And of course, we also want those strong chest muscles so we can push the little strollers and baby carriages with our grandchildren, right? And you don't have to lean back if it hurts the neck or the back. You can do it straight out. Just puff up that chest for one more. Lovely. Now, we're going to move on to the second block of exercises. This would be tricep, bicep related. Now, the first one, well, this one is a tricep dip. There's no way to show a dip without it being a full out, blown out exercise. However, I want you, for those of you who have carpal tunnel syndrome, you're going to do this one. And if for those of you who can't do it on a bench, it's perfectly fine to do this exercise I'm going to show you. It's going to get posterior deltoid and tricep. Why? Because the elbow is extended. So whenever that elbow is going to be extended, I'm going to get that tricep involvement. Now notice that I don't do this with the head when I bring the arms back. And notice I don't swing the arms forward and swing them, because this is nothing to do with momentum. I'm placing the arms and pausing. There's a delay. And then you control it back in. And then one more. And now I'm going to come into what's called hammer curls. Elbows alongside me. Watch the elbow bend. What we don't want is this and this. Sometimes when the weight is heavier, there is a little touch of momentum. That's appropriate to heavy weight. When you have no weights in your hands, folks, momentum shouldn't even be in the equation. I like this with the palms facing each other, because when you ultimately have some weight in the hands, and even if it's 1 pound dumbbells, this is going to put some work into the forearms and wrists, which we know is, or I should say, osteoporotic sites. I'm going to go for one more. Now, I'm going to head back down to the floor. And this one is tricep overhead extension. Now, for those of you who have hypertension, you may have been told never to squeeze your fingers real hard. Maybe you weren't told and it doesn't apply to you. However, just in case you were told that, you can bring your palms together like this. Otherwise, I'm going to choose to interlock the fingers. Arms go up and down and up. So notice how the elbows go wider when you go down, and when you go up, the elbows narrow. They come in. And it's exhale, exhale. Now, for those of you with pinched nerve or rotator cuff, you might have to go back to the prior tricep exercise, the tricep press. I'm going to do a few more. Now, when I have the weights in my hands, I will not be on my knee. One more. And hands to the thigh to come up. And now we're going to do basic bicep curls. And I'm going to teach you a little something, a little trick about biceps. So we want to kind of tie them in a little bit more. We do it with the act of supination. Supination means palms up. Pronation is down. So, or face up technically, all right? So I'm going to start with the hands alongside or turn back. Either way is perfectly fine with me. Bend the knees, I supinate, and then I pronate. Palms up, and then they're facing each other or facing the wall behind you. Notice the knees are softened, belly button is in, chest is lifted. Taking your time. We want those strong arms so we can carry our groceries into our house. We don't want to hyperextend and lock out the elbow trying to carry them in. You just bend that elbow and place your bag over your forearm. You got your bicep helping you. And lower the arms down. Now we're going to do a bent over tricep kickback. I'm not going to bend over for it for some of you, but for others, of course, you will. So you can do a tricep kickback upright with the arms here. Now notice you're stabilizing the elbow. It's acting as the fulcrum, and you go straight back, exhaling, inhaling. Preferably the breathing is done in and out through the nose. Sometimes mine escapes with the old old-fashioned way of out the mouth when I'm exerting. And one more. Now, Arnold curls. Yes, they're named for the man, okay? And knees are bent, arms out. Arnold curls are not done alongside the ribs. You're out here and you're curling. Now, I like Arnold curls because when you have weights in your hands, you're going to feel those forearms work and those wrists. Take your time. Soften the knees, chest up, shoulders down, breath in and out through the nose, and relax it down. Couple of shoulder rolls, folks, just to loosen them up again. All right, let's get started with the workout with the weights. Bent over back row, wide grip, followed by an incline chest press, also wide grip. So I'm going to grab my 12 pounders for the bent over back row. Remember, those of you with back spine, you're not doing that, right? You're not doing it. So here we go. Notice the spine. I'm not rounded and collapsed. Belly button is in. Head is up. One more. And take them down. I'm going to set them down for the moment right here. My bench is set. I've only recently leveled up to 18 pounds on my incline chest press. Here we go. Wide grip and exhale. No collapsing of the chest. Hypertension, vertigo, GERD. Let's get that cushion under your head if you're flat on the floor or on your bed. You want to focus on the spot on the ceiling and touch that spot. One more. Now, when I lower, I kind of raise a little bit with my thighs toward the weight, just to guarantee. Gently placing them on the bench. And, excuse me, back to the second round of the bent over. Wide grip, back row. Here we go. So the cervical spine of the neck, the lumbar spine of the low back, basically do the same position, and they are in a natural lordotic curve, just like a little teeny bit of an extension, which is why I might look down here, but I'm going to lift that head up on the actual work. Two more. And setting them down. Back to incline chest press. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Chest is up. Don't collapse that chest, especially when you push the weights up toward the ceiling. Two more. Lots of tricep. Lots of front deltoid of the shoulder. Wonderful. All right, now next we have shoulder rolls with an inclined pec fly. So let me just put my weights up there for that. I'm going to grab my 20 pounders for the shoulder rolls. So when you have a small space, you need to be very careful in how you maneuver with all your equipment, but it can be done. So I don't care about the feet here. I want you to see the shoulders. So my knees are bent a little bit. Big shoulder rolls. Whoa, it feels great though. Two more. Okay, set them down. Okay, incline pec fly. Lots of bicep involvement on this one, folks. You'll see why in a second. So nice big arcing motion. And then exhale. Don't clank those weights. Keep a couple of inches at least. Exhale in between. Big, enormous bear hug, right? Kind of like a rainbow. Make sure you stay hydrated when you train. I only know from water. Don't ask me about coffees and teas and flavored stuff. I don't know from any of that. All I know is what Harvard Health Publishing talks about is water. I'm going to go for one more. Nice stretch here. And down toward my thighs. Excuse me. Back to shoulder rolls. Really circling those shoulders. Two more. Setting the weights down. Back to the pec fly on the incline. Now, those of you who are on your bed, you can also take another pillow and kind of wedge that underneath your torso toward your head, and you can create a little bit of an incline that way. Some folks have a literal wedge as a pillow, and you can use that as well. And if you don't have anything to make it an incline, that's okay, go flat bench or flat back. So I do like people to warm up when they're 55 years and above for 10 minutes prior to strength training. I'm going to go for one more. And slowly back down. Now we're going to do the lat pull down along with the incline chest press narrow grip. So what I want to do is just put my weights on the bench. Okay. I'm using 10 for the lat pull down. Now I'm not dropping to my knee. And it goes toward the chest and up. Toward the chest and up. I am a little bit leaning back. You see that? Belly button is in. And take them down. Okay, incline chest press. Let's see if I can do it. Give this 18. Otherwise, I reserve the right to downgrade to 15. Narrow grip. I'm going to be quiet. One more. Ooh la la, ça sent. Okay. Now, back to the lat pull down. Yep, I am sweating like crazy. It is Florida. And pull. Pull. Two more. And down. Incline, chest press, narrow grip, add in the tricep involvement there. 2 more. Oh, yeah. Ooh la la. And I'm going to take them down. All right, now, for those of you who want to stop here, okay, I'm going to tell you for your cool down to repeat everything without any resistance as your cool down. For those of you continuing on for tricep, bicep, I'm just going to do a little bit of a readjustment here, and then we'll get started. So our first exercises are going to be the tricep dip with the hammer curls, Amy, all right? So just
Sounds good.
a little bit of a setup here. Just bear with me a moment. Pardon me.
Tell us in the comments, Green Warriors, what type of exercise do you enjoy doing most while Angela is doing that?
I'd love to hear that. Okay.
And our Tiny Acres says, hugs, beautiful people. Greening.
Tiny Acres, thank you.
Greening, Tiny Acres.
Okay, so I promised you a tricep dip, right, Amy? So
Yeah.
I'm going to show 3 ways on how to do it. Remember, those of you with the carpal tunnel issues, you're going straight back, okay? So I'm going to come to the floor, and let's just see what you can see of me. I'm just going to check the camera and all of that. So I'm going to have to move further here. Okay, so I'm taking the hands to the floor, and I'm turning the fingers toward my butt. The elbows are bent, the chest is puffed up. It's not this, folks, it's this. And then from here, I'm going to straighten and bend. When you actually do this, you're not 100% straightening those elbows. That's okay. So that's a modification of the tricep dip. The next one is a modification of the dip on the bench, all right? So what happens here, Amy, is that you take your butt off the bench, but you keep the knees bent. You bend the elbows and you push up. Now that's a modification. However, if you want to do it full out, legs come out, and I'm pushing away. You notice that? I'm pushing away. Chest up, shoulders down. 1 more. And now we follow this up with those hammer curls. I'm using 15s on this. Come a little closer for you and curl it up. Gonna go for 2 more. Feel it in those forearms and wrists. And then we go back to our tricep dips, any which way you want to do it, or your tricep press, okay? The reason why this is inappropriate for carpal tunnel is it puts us into wrist extension. That is a contraindicated movement for those with carpal tunnel. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with Dr. Frank Sabatino about this. It's very helpful. 2 more. Woo! Feeling it. There we go. And now back to hammer time. My arms are getting tired. One more. and down. Okay. Now the next round. Next round is tricep overhead extension. I'm not dropping to the floor. I demonstrated it. Now, for those of you with hypertension, vertigo, and GERD, let's do a slight variation. So we did this before, right, for your first round of another tricep exercise. That was replacing your dip. Turn your hands this way, palms toward each other. Palms facing each other. Do it that way. Give yourself another option. All right, so I'm going to grab my 20-pound weight. I don't want this one. I want my other 20-pounder. Yeah, I know. I bought something one time individually with the weights, and they weren't the same company. But at least I have them. All right, so placing the hands like this over the collar of the weight to hold the bar for that tricep overhead extension. Down, exhale, up. Notice I don't drop the weight all the way down to the base of the skull, meaning the top part of the weight. One more. And slowly down. Now, bicep curls, your basic curls. Your choice, choose supinate or not. I don't care, whatever works for you. So I'm sorry it's a little darker in here today, Amy, with all of the equipment coming up onto the top of the building. They're blocking so some of the light coming in to my apartment. I'm sorry. I'm going to go for one more. And now back to, I'm using a 20 for that tricep overhead extension. By the way, it's also called a tricep overhead press. See, wide and narrow. One more. Bicep curls. Make sure you get hydrated, folks. Stop and rest when you need to, but don't quit, please. I want to try it. There we go. Okay, and the final round of the strength training is going to be the bent over tricep kickback. But those of you with back spine, you're going to do it straight up. And the Arnold curls, all right? So for this, I'm going to use my 8s for my bent over tricep kickback. Looking up every time I extend the arms, get the cervical spine to do the same position as the lumbar spine. Belly button in. 2 more. And take them down. Now I'm going to do, I think I said Arnold curls. So let me bring those 10-pounders over. If I have to downgrade 8, I will. And here we go. A lot of work in those forearms. I'm telling you, a lot of work in those forearms. 2 more. Always give yourself permission, folks, to downgrade the work, the weight. Don't be in pain. Pain is not a gauge of success. It's a gauge of pain. So we want to avoid pain, but work an acceptable level of muscular discomfort for you. I don't know what that is. Only you know. Think of a scale of 0 to 10. 0 is no effort. 10 is maximal effort for 1 repetition. You want to work between 6 and 8, depending upon where you're at in time. And Arnold curls. Now I have a winged scapula on my real right shoulder, so that's why you just saw me do that. So kind of put it back in place. Everybody good out there, Amy?
Yeah, this is great.
1 more. Ooh. Okay, now for our cool down. First off, I'm going to shake out my hands. And they're super hot. I'm taking off the gloves. Don't need those anymore. Now, when you do the cool down on your own, folks, you can choose to do the whole thing again without any weight, all right? But I'm going to take you through some a little bit more site-specific stretches. So interlock the fingers, accept hypertension. You can place hand on hand like so. Palms are down. I'm bending the knees. Arms up. I'm going to step back just for a moment, just so you can see the palms are facing the ceiling. And then I'm going to step in a little bit. And then slowly lower. Now, when you're on your own, you want to do the stretches for 20 to 30 seconds at least each. Now, I'm depressing that left shoulder back and down as I'm pulling across. This is a beautiful stretch for the deltoid, for the rotator cuff muscles, for the long head of the tricep muscle. A lot of stuff going on here. And then I bring same hand to the shoulder, support the elbow, take it through the range of motion within that glenohumeral joint of the shoulder. Tricep stretch. And breathe.
Can you turn around so we can see where your hand placement is? Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome. And the closer behind the head, the better. And slowly down. Now, I'm going to dangle the arm so that the wrist is a little lower than the shoulder. Oh, and I'm going to push. So I'm pushing both into each other. Now, this next position is contraindicated for carpal tunnel. Don't do this. Just stay on the other one. So no matter what, if the arm is here, 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 that's all wrist extension. So you don't want to come into that for carpal tunnel. I'm going to release it. Isolate shoulder roll on that side, unweighted. Oh, feels so good, Amy. And now arms up. I'm going to step back a bit, squat down a little. So just so you can see the palms are overhead, not out here. However, what if that's your range of motion? Well, then you bring them a little more in front of you. That's okay. We want a long neck. I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for a long neck. Thus, the bent elbows. And push down, depress, pull. Woo, mama. It's all of that. Breathing. And now, right hand on right shoulder, left hand supports right elbow. Take it on up. So you try to inch it behind the head. Was that clear, Amy?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. They don't see it. It's like crazy, right? Now, I want you to think that you're not just stretching here. I want you to think you're lifting all of this, a whole side. It puts it into takes it to a whole nother category here, a whole nother degree of stretch when you do that. And then release it down. Wrist dangles below the shoulder, below the sternum of the breastbone, pushing. I think that my recovery, Amy, from my broken wrist on this side was pretty remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. I know you didn't, but I did. Look at you, how flexible.
Yeah, and it's technically not healed yet. A fractured bone takes technically 1 full year. My full year. Now notice this. See how that wants to hyperextend? I have to be careful of that. So we don't want to hyperextend a joint. Yeah, my full year will be April 16th from the fall. So we're getting there. We're almost 100% healed.
Wow.
Yeah, feels good to know that. And now shoulder roll. And we prevented osteoporosis because of the strength training. Even though I didn't lift weights in this arm, we did it, right, Amy? We did it on this show with unilateral training with bands and tubing. It can be done, folks. Now, this position, not for carpal tunnel. What I want you to do is really reach out for your middle fingers, and you'll get the entire length of that arm. The rest of us, it's like Atlas pushing the walls away. And then inhale, thumbs down. Exhale, you're going to interlock all 10 fingers. If you don't want to interlock, you can hold a yoga strap if you want. I'm pushing the knuckles toward the floor. The shoulder blades rolling toward each other. I am not doing this forward head flexion like a chicken, right? Or a rooster. I don't know, whoever does that. Keep the chest lifted. And they are chiseling above me right now. And shoulder roll. One last stretch. Let's see if we can get it in before they take my roof down. Wrists are below the shoulders. Keep the chest up and just a little bit. Look down. Upper trapezius stretch. I don't like you dropping the head all the way. That's too much forward head flexion. And then crisscross, head up, inhale, exhale, lower the head again, just a little bit, but really reach out through the fingers. And then we release the arms down, head up, shoulder rolls. And that's what we got for you today, Amy, along with our sound effects.
Everybody's getting a workout.
There we go. Those guys up there, it's unbelievable what they do. I actually went up to the roof earlier, and I'm like, I'm impressed. I'm from a totally different perspective. I was impressed.
Well, that was a wonderful workout. And even if you guys just do the stretch, it's a great stretch. You know, you're sitting down all day. It's just awesome.
Amy, what I didn't say earlier, and I would like to say it to the folks that I mentioned, those medical disclaimers, right, is if you're unsure, you can always just preview the video first and look for what you can do. And if you don't find anything there, or which I doubt, or it's because maybe you might not be open-minded to it, then maybe show the medical healthcare practitioner who knows your body best to help you make a better informed decision for yourself.
Very good advice. So Anne said, can we do this every day, or should we skip a day in between? Thanks.
Okay, and it depends upon if you're using weights or not, okay? So if you do it unweighted, do it every day. If it's going to get you up and exercise unweighted, do the whole thing, okay? Now, here's the other way you can work this. You can do it every other day. Also, you can do the back chest one day, next day tricep, bicep. Got it? That's why I designed it that way, because let's say, I don't know, this was 45 minutes or something like that, full out the workout. So if you divide that in half, right, you don't have that much of a time consuming workout. So those are a couple of options there, and I hope that helps you.
Oh, I love it. And Sid, hi Sid. She said, could the incline moves be done lying on an inflated ball?
Yes, and Amy, didn't we do a class with exercise? Did we do yoga?
Stability.
Stability. So we use the stability ball for strength training, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, Sid, there is a video on Amy's platform that we did of all the upper body exercises on the ball. So it's a great question, and it's great seeing you.
Yeah, it is great seeing you, Sid. And wow, that stability ball, that's a wrong name because it's not stable. And that's what's great because it really can make a workout, even if you don't have weights, it
Right.
can just add a little bit more of something. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the stability ball is a great, inexpensive workout bench.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Great idea.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sid.
Yeah, she said Angela is such an inspiration. She's like the Energizer Bunny.
I love her. Nobody's like Sid when she's teaching inflammation.
And Jennifer Diamond said hi.
How are you feeling, Jennifer? Oh, I'm sorry.
And here's a shout out from Lynn.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Lynn.
Really nice to see you all. That's so sweet. Thank you kindly.
Yeah, so we have a lot of great people watching, and
Very, very sweet. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. The more that, look, I mean, I want men to do the right thing when they're training, and I want them to use the proper form. I also don't want them to get cocky and think that they can't get osteoporosis, because it's absolutely becoming more and more prevalent within them, okay, amongst them, and it's very important. But I am at heart really on a mission to spread the word for women as we get older. Please, we must focus on muscle and bone strength. And there's no getting around that you need to use some type of resistance. Maybe another time, Amy, we'll do a whole thing here on upper body or something with bands and tubing and what have you.
Oh, that would be a good one. Because sometimes it's a portable one, right? Sometimes when people are traveling, or if they just don't have the room for all the equipment, or yeah, those are great. The bands, they're just amazing.
It is
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff you can do with that.
So Eliza said, my right elbow bothers me when hyperextending with a heavy weight while my left arm is not challenged. How can I get the right arm to get stronger? Yeah.
Eliza, it won't get stronger if you keep hyperextending it. You have to do the weight, work with your weight based on the ability of your joint, not the other way around. That weight is too heavy. It's just too heavy. Did you notice when I went to do my stretch and I saw that my elbow was hyperextending? I immediately corrected it. That actually compromises your joint in the long run. And so I would be willing, Eliza, to find a way to lighten up that weight and keep that elbow from hyperextending. All right? Because you're going to get injured in the long run for a longer amount of time. Let's prevent that now. And thank you for the question, because I hope we can prevent that for you.
Very good. And Raymond said, I work at a computer all day and I often experience pain in my neck at work. Any recommendations for a good stretch?
Okay, the first thing I'm going to advise you to do is make sure that your computer is set up ergonomically correct for your body. Make sure your chair is set up ergonomically correct, as well as your keyboard. These are imperative for the health of your structures. Now, as far as the neck goes in particular, because we're in a forward flexion, right? We're at the keyboard, whatever. We're pretty much in a forward flexion. I would focus on stuff that extends my neck. So here's your extension. And if you want, now, I have to just say that, and I don't know anything about you, Raymond, but if you have any kind of a stroke in your background or a transient ischemic attack, you don't want to drop your head all the way back, because then you're cutting off the oxygen flow, all right? But do not be afraid of neck extension if you've never had those issues, because you're not going to cause it to happen by doing it. So what you can do is place your hands behind your head, take the pinky underneath the base of the skull. And Amy, are you good? Can you see me okay?
Yeah, I'm doing it too.
Good. And what we want to do is look up. So I'm guaranteeing you, Raymond, that you're still going to get the oxygen flow, all right? I don't want you to be frightened of what I just said. It's just that, and I love to go all the way back. I'm not going to create a TIA or a stroke by doing that. But if somebody had one, either of those, you got to be careful with hyperextension of the neck. But that would be a great way to offset all this stuff, Raymond.
Oh, that's great. Is that also helpful for tech neck?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. That forward head projection, that chicken feet. We don't want to do that.
We don't want that.
This is a great way to counteract it.
Wow.
Hope that helps, Raymond. It's more about, it's not, Raymond, so much about stretching the neck. Your neck is already overstretched. You're overstretched in this position, all right? So we want to train the extensors to get stronger. Here are the extensors. Now I'm stretching the flexors that are very tight on you, Raymond.
Oh, that's a good stretch. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, thank you, Angela, for your time-saving exercise class, right?
Thank you for your patience with the world opening up above me.
Yeah, well, but I mean, you don't find time to exercise, right? You make time to exercise.
Yeah, I schedule it in. It's in my schedule. And if something happens, something happens. Life goes on sometimes. You have to miss something. But don't put it secondary. And, it's one of the reasons why, my story, Amy. I used to be on all kinds of SSRIs and psychotropic drugs. And I've been off those puppies for, I don't know, it's almost 6 years now, I guess. And it is this stuff that if I have I'm upset about something, I put it into the weight. Sometimes I'm in my room here and I'm weightlifting. I feel so great afterwards. And it just knocks the fight right out of me.
Yeah, it really does. And you just have to just get started. And even if it's just like Angela said, you can do one of these workouts. You don't have to do them both at the same time.
Whatever. Do some part of this. It's glorious getting reconnected with the control over your own body. We're losing our bodies to medicine, and it doesn't have to happen like that. Just approach it slowly, use your breath, and you'll get there.
Well, everyone, please click like to show your appreciation for what Angela shared with us today. Angela, why don't you tell us what you do and how we can find you?
Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Well, basically, I do a few things that are done virtually. I'm a virtual personal trainer, typically working with people from 50 through their 90s, and also for virtual prenatal yoga and hatha yoga. And people can contact me by way of the contact form on my website, which is boomerandbeyondwellness.com. Boomerandbeyondwellness.com. Thank you. And then also we have a brand new YouTube channel, Boomer and Beyond Wellness. And you're going to see lots of videos there and different podcast shows, mostly here from Amy, and lots of workouts and yoga chair exercises. I'm also an exercise video provider for several platforms that basically have a membership with people transitioning from the standard American diet to whole food plant exclusive. And I've been brought in to provide strength training videos for Feel Fabulous Over 40, Chef AJ's program, and also the Timmerie Hagenbergers, and she is the nutrition professor, and that is the Foodie Bar Way of Life. And I'm providing also strength training for her, and I also provide some yoga as well. So this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm all about, and I'm here to help.
Well, you have a lot of fans out there. Jennifer said she is the best personal trainer.
Thank you. She's a beauty. She'll try anything. She's willing to do the work, and that's what it's all about.
Yep, that's what it's all about. Even if it's just without weights, you can do something. Do something every day. Do something every day.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, Green Warriors, tell us what you're going to remember about today's broadcast. Type it in the comments so other people can see what your takeaway is. One of my takeaways is that pain is not a gauge of success.
It's just pain. It hurts.
Pain, and it's not going to do you any good.
No good.
And I wanted to also thank Just Tess Voice. She did the countdown and the intros and the promos. Just Tess Voice, tell us who's coming up next.
Certified holistic nutritionist and lifestyle wellness mentor, Stacy Heine, will demo yummy carrot cookies. Join us on Wednesday, March 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, on Be Green with Amy Live.
Well,
Yay,
most
I'm
of
so
all, isn't she great? Oh, I'm so
excited.
excited to have her back. And please, Green Warriors, I wanted to thank you most of all for joining us and making the comments and the wonderful things that you said to Angela today, because I feel the same way. And as a thank you to you, if you can go to begreenwithamy.com/join, I'll send you 5 free recipes just as a token of my appreciation for all that you're supporting us with this journey that we're on to make everybody healthy in all different ways, including the physical fitness that Angela is helping us with. And I would like to encourage all of you to take your right hand and grab your left shoulder. Take your left hand and grab your right shoulder. Now, squeeze. And that's a hug from me to you. And if you want to join me and Angela, because we're going to be doing my tagline, you can type it in the comments below. Are you ready, Angela?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, until I see all of you again, remember, be strong, be well, and be green.
Yay!
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Now you can listen to Be Green with Amy expert interviews wherever you go. Listen while walking, meal prepping, or traveling. Find Be Green with Amy on Apple, Google, Alexa, Amazon, or virtual